actual father before this bench.
Tad Martin is not my baby's father. My baby's father is an honorable man, a faithful man who keeps his word. And that man is in court today, Your Honor. His name is Edmund Gray.
Let the record show that Mrs. Martin has named Edmund Gray as the father of her unborn child.
Edmund and I have known each other and worked together for almost 2 years, Your Honor. We were engaged at one time. After I married Tad, Edmund and I worked together on a story for Tempo. There was an accident, and Edmund almost drowned at Willow Lake. And that night, we spent most of that night in my aunt's cabin on the lake. I wanted to sleep with him, but I didn't. He almost died, and I realized at that point how much I still cared about him. I wanted to make love to him, but I turned him down. After Willow Lake, Tad was in Canada, and I found out that my husband was cheating on me with Dixie Cooney. And Edmund was very kind and supportive and sympathetic. And that's when we slept together.
Your Honor, may I cross-examine Mrs. Martin?
Yes, Mr. Logan.
Mrs. Martin, just where did this expression of sympathy take place?
It was at Wildwind.
Were there witnesses?
No, of course not.
So no one can vouch for the truth of what you're saying?
No one but Edmund himself.
And how long did the affair last?
It wasn't an affair. It was just a one night. I was devastated. I had found out that my marriage was over. And I told Edmund how sorry I was that I hadn't made a different decision at Willow Lake. And one thing led to another. And that's when we made love. And that is when this child was conceived.
You're sure?
Yes.
And yet you told both your husband and your mother-in-law, Mrs. Cortlandt, that the night that Mr. Martin left for Canada, you and your husband made love and you did not use any contraception. Is that true?
It's true that I told them that, but I lied.
Oh, you were lying then. Why? Why lie about not using contraception before you committed adultery with Mr. Gray?
I wanted a baby.
I see. So you were planning to conceive a child with Mr. Gray and pass it off as your husband's.
No, I wanted a child with Edmund, not Tad.
Stop it. Stop it, Brooke. Stop the lying.
This just in. At a press conference in Pine Valley this afternoon, Erica Kane announced she was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder when she stabbed her husband, Dimitri Marick, last month. Ms. Kane claimed she was raped at the age of 14 by actor Richard Fields, father of her estranged daughter, Kendall Hart. Fields and Hart arrived at the press conference unexpectedly, and we now go live to reporter Eileen Pert in Pine Valley for late-breaking developments.
The public has the right to know the truth about Erica Kane. Just because she is rich and powerful does not give her the right to destroy an innocent man's reputation.
That's right.
Erica didn't name her rapist in her statement, Kendall. So Fields' so-called reputation has been tarnished. You have yourselves to thank for that.
Like my father's name wouldn't come up in court. But Erica doesn't want this case tried in court. She prefers the media. Because the same people who have fawned all over her for years might buy that flimsy post-traumatic stress excuse. But not once you've seen my father in person and you've heard the truth from his lips.
I have no intention of waiting until the trial before challenging these scurrilous remarks.
All right, that's enough. Now, you two have a choice. You can either leave by your own accord, or I will have security escort you out. It's your choice.
Eric is back.
Jack, excuse me. I have something I want to say. This is the man who raped me. I was 14 years old, and he held me down, and he forced himself on me, though I cried.
Do I have to listen to this?
Yes, you do. Shut up.
I begged him to stop, but he laughed. And when he finished, I was pregnant. The shame and the shock of that night have never left me. Though I have tried to forget, I have tried my best to forget. But here they are. They have joined forces against me. They would like to defeat me. But they will not succeed. They will not beat me. Because I am stronger than they are. I have to be. I am Erica Kane.
Your Honor, I apologize for my outburst, but I cannot in good conscience remain silent any longer.
For the record, please identify yourself.
My name is Edmund Gray, and I'd like to make a statement.
Your Honor, I request a 5-minute recess.
It's too late. Let him speak.
Brooke.
Objection overruled. In any case, I'd like to get to the bottom of this. Please, take the stand, Mr. Gray.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Everything Brooke said about us is right on the money. Except for one thing. I'm not the father of her baby. There's no way I could be. It's biologically impossible. Because Brooke and I haven't slept together since she broke off our engagement. Over a year ago. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Gray.
There's a law. There's more, Your Honor. There's a lot more. Brooke English is one of the finest, most honorable women I've ever met. She's also a loving mother.
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Gray has already denied paternity of Mrs. Martin's baby. His further opinion is not only irrelevant, but also prejudicial.
Overruled. Continue, Mr. Gray.
Brooke was leveled when her husband walked out on her. She put everything she had into saving her marriage, and nothing worked. She felt used and abandoned. And why shouldn't she? Because Tad Martin promised to love and be faithful to her until death. And he also swore in writing that he would never seek custody of Jamie. But here we are. Your Honor, Brooke's terrified. She's gonna have her children stolen from her. She's already lost one child to a drunk driver. She doesn't deserve to lose anymore. And that story that she made up about me being the father, well, that's... She's just scared. Please don't hold it against her. Jamie needs his mother, and Brooke needs her children. Please, don't take anything else away from her. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gray.
Your Honor, excuse me. May I please be heard?
Wonderful. He laid out all my options, and he never just pressed me. He never pushed me, never put me in a corner. He said whatever I chose would be right. He never tried to take over. He just gave me respect.
Well, you've earned it.
Well, you gave me the strength to go out there and face that man head on, and for that I am eternally grateful. I will never forget that. Thank you. You were almost as wonderful as Jack.
Oh!
Jack, listen to me. I have made a decision. I want to press charges against that man for raping me. This whole experience has given me courage. I am not going to let Richard Fields get away with what he did to me, Mother.
Your Honor, my attorney, Mr. Logan, may not approve of my timing or what I am about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Before this hearing was scheduled, I had no intention of seeking anything other than liberal visitation with my son. But in light of recent developments, I have serious reservations about Jamie staying in Brooke's care. I'd give anything not to have to do this. My wife has used my son as a weapon against me. She's threatened to pick up stakes and move 6,000 miles away, which would effectively wipe out all contact with Jamie. Now she stood up in the court of law and she has lied about the paternity of our unborn child. Your Honor, it hurts me to have to say this, but if Jamie has to be with one or the other of us, I'd like to petition the court for full physical and legal custody of James Edward Martin, effective immediately.
No! 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 You can't let him do that! No!
Sunday, the tricks begin when kids start disappearing on Lois and Clark, The Adventures of Superman.